In this video, I'll show you how to do a science project that investigates how dyes that contaminate water may be cleaned up using yeast. Did you know that many waters around the world are polluted with dyes? These are dyes used in the manufacture of clothing, as well as cosmetics, leather, pharmaceuticals, foodstuffs, and paper. In this science project, you will investigate how living, active baker's yeast can be used to reduce the amount of dyes in contaminated water. The materials list and instructions for the science project are linked in the description. To get started with your experiment, you'll want to first set up your gas collection apparatus. When yeast are alive and active, they produce carbon dioxide, or CO2, which is a gas that you will collect and measure to determine whether the yeast are active. You will trap and measure the carbon dioxide gas using a graduated cylinder that is inverted and submerged in water. Here's how. Check the tip in the squeeze bottle caps. Some may have arrived plugged, as shown here. If they are plugged, carefully use scissors to clip off the very top. Make sure the tubing can tightly fit the new tip opening. Now fill a plastic tub or bucket or dishpan about 1/3 full of water. Then completely fill the graduated cylinder with water by submerging the graduated cylinder in the tub. Raise up the bottom of the graduated cylinder or tilt it slightly in the water so that you can run one end of the plastic tubing into the cylinder, but make sure its opening remains below the surface of the water. Your apparatus is now ready to trap carbon dioxide gas from the yeast. To each bottle, remove the lid and add 3 drops of the food coloring you want to test. To the bottles that will be testing active yeast, add 1 teaspoon of sugar. To all bottles, add half a teaspoon of baker's yeast. Then add half a cup of hot water, about 110 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit, to the first bottle. Screw the lid onto the bottle tightly, place your thumb over the hole in the lid's tip, and invert the bottle a few times to dissolve the yeast and sugar, making sure the tubing to the lid is secure afterwards. Within 5 to 10 minutes, if the yeast is alive and active, the yeast solution should start foaming and you should see bubbles collecting in the graduated cylinder. The bubbles are carbon dioxide gas produced by active yeast. Collect the CO2 gas for around 15 to 30 minutes. Use the same amount of time for all of your tests. When the time is up, note how much CO2 gas was collected by observing how much water was displaced from the graduated cylinder. Disconnect the bottle from the tubing and set it aside. You will observe the bottle over the next 3 days. Refill your gas collection cylinder and repeat the process with another bottle, starting with adding the warm water. Observe the liquid in the bottles each day and record observations. Are any of the bottles changing color? If so, how? Do any of the bottles with the same food coloring look different if they had active yeast compared to inactive yeast? If you see differences, why do you think this is? When it has been 3 days since you started your experiment, analyze how the colors in the liquids have changed using cereal dilutions. Perform a cereal dilution analysis by first labeling 6 baby food jars as 100%, 50%, 25%, 12.5%, 6.25%, and 3.13%. Fill all jars except the one labeled 100% with 1/4 cup of water. Fill the 100% jar with half a cup of water and 3 drops of the food coloring you want to analyze. This is the same as the original solution you prepared, so it will be your 100% solution. Measure out 1/4 cup from the 100% jar and pour it into the 50% jar. Measure out 1/4 cup from the 50% jar and pour it into the 25% jar. Measure out 1/4 cup from the 25% jar and pour it into the 12.5% jar. Measure out 1/4 cup from the 12.5% jar and pour it into the 6.25% jar. And finally, measure out 1/4 cup from the 6.25% jar and pour it into the 3.13% jar. Your cereal dilution series is now complete. Take the first sample bottle you want to analyze and carefully pour off some of the liquid into a clean baby food jar. Stop pouring before you disturb the yeast at the bottom of the bottle. Hold the jar with your sample next to your cereal dilution jars and try to match the darkness or lightness of your sample as closely as you can to the cereal dilution jars. Try the best you can to find the closest matching color. Your sample may be in between 2 of the cereal dilution jars. Repeat the cereal dilution analysis with your remaining sample bottles. What do your results tell you about whether live active yeast is able to break down or reduce the amount of dye in a water sample? How did the samples with live active yeast compare to the samples with inactive yeast? Were all dyes affected the same way by the yeast? Can you think of ways that the yeast could be used to more efficiently reduce the amount of dye in a contaminated water sample? There are many other things you can try for this experiment. For more ideas and written instructions, make sure you check out the link in the video description. For over 1,000 other projects in all areas of science and engineering, check out our website at www.sciencebuddies.org.